Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. That's right. It's me, Sandman Mystery Comics, as Aaron likes to say, or better known as Jim. And this is going to be a pet project of mine because I am a big fan of the pulps, the pulp heroes, pulp short fiction. And I'm not talking the Tarantino movie, which was okay. And it was pulp, but you know, I'm talking the original stuff from the 30s and 40s, okay? Some of you may be asking, what the heck is pulp? Because all you know is the title Pulp Fiction from the Quentin Tarantino film. Pulp is over the top action, adventure, guns blazing, in your face horror. If you've read EC Comics Tales from the Crypt or Vault of Horror, that's Pulp Fiction, just a horror version. If you've ever read The Shadow or Doc Savage or The Spider, that's Pulp Fiction. Okay? Better yet, if you've ever read Conan or you've read Solomon Kane, boom, perfect epitome of Pulp Fiction. High adventure, great action, and always personal risk to the protagonist, and every chapter puts them in some kind of crazy situation. You're like, oh my God, how are they going to get out of this? Well, you're only on the first chapter and there's still 200 pages left to read. So you know they're going to get out. But the question is how they get out. Makes it interesting. All right. Now, a lot of great writers did Pulp Fiction. H.P. Lovecraft, all of his short stories, all of the Cthulhu mythos published in the pulp Weird Tales. Same thing with Robert E. Howard, Mr. Conan himself. Pulp Fiction, right in Weird Tales. Walter Gibson, author of over 300 of the almost 400 stories of The Shadow. He wrote like I said, he wrote 80% of them, in the Shadow magazine. Lester Dent, he wrote like 90% of all the Doc Savage novels, which are pulp too. And then there's other great characters that people don't know about, like Black Bat, who showed up in Black Bat Detective, the Phantom Detective, Blonde Phantom, just a whole bunch. And even the Phantom is Pulp Fiction, okay? And also, believe it or not, Michael Moorcock's Eternal Champion, whether it's Corum, Hawkmoon, Elric, any one of the many facets of the Eternal Champion, they were serialized short stories with over-the-top action and adventure. That's Pulp Fiction, because those were published in science fantasy and science fiction magazines back in the 60s when he started writing them, okay? Now, a lot of people don't know, but Robert E. Howard didn't just write sword and sorcery stuff. He wrote horror. He wrote boxing novels. He wrote sailing novels. He wrote all kinds of crazy stuff. Regular adventure, like one of his characters was in the Foreign Legion fighting evil Arabs and all kinds of, you name it, he wrote it. The man was a genius. Today, we're going to talk about one of his most famous horror stories, Pigeons from Hell. This is a newer, updated version. It does have Robert E. Howard license seal of approval. So it is approved and licensed directly from the Robert E. Howard estate. The story was adapted for the comics by Joe R. Lansdale. You may know him from writing the Vertigo Jonah Hex series, which was damn good. Mixing Western with creepy horror, creepiness horror, not in your face horror. Okay. And he was asked to update the story uh, for the modern day. And this was a 4-issue adaptation. It was originally floppies. This is the first printing of the collected edition trade paperback from January of 2009. And if you're not familiar with the story is about a group of young adults who go to a rundown plantation that was inherited by one of the kids, one of the female kids, her and her sister. This plantation has been in their family for generations. It has been abandoned for generations as well. Back during the Civil War, some bad hoodoo went on there, and no one's ever occupied it. But the family just passes it on to the next remaining member and so forth. They finally go there. There's weird goings on that happen. A couple of the kids get killed, and all of a sudden they're coming back trying to kill the other kids. And what ended up happening is they 2 or 3 of the people make it out alive, find a sheriff who was in the this all takes place in Louisiana, okay, and they happen upon this little shack. And the guy comes outside, comes in. He tells them the whole story of the house, how the original owners, they weren't Yankees. They were Southerners. They were Democrats. That's right. They owned slaves. They abused the slaves on this cotton plantation. The guy was married, but he liked to mess around with the slaves, had a kid with one of them. The wife snapped, drowned the kid. The dude cursed her, killed her, then killed himself. And the mother of the child killed cast a voodoo curse on the plantation and their descendants and everyone else after. Because the husband and wife, the Southerners that owned the plantation, actually had 2 girls. One died, one escaped. So she's cursed. And the curse overwhelmed her, took her over, and she's this evil shadow voodoo being. And the guy that's giving him the story, he stayed alive over 150 years because, remember, Civil War, okay? By doing his hoodoo spells, and he's not strong enough like his great-great-grandmother was, who could have ended it. Okay, he's only strong enough to keep his life going and put protective seals around his shack. He does tell him how to stop it, and unfortunately the seal is broken around the place, so one of the hoodoo spirits gets in and gets him. He just turns to dust automatically because he's over 150 years old. Even in the Bible, God mandates that our lifespan will not go beyond 120 years, right? So this guy lived 40, 50 years beyond that. So he's auto dust. And the girl felt bad, but she's with the sheriff, her sister, and her, and they go back into the house to confront the evil spirit daughter, hoodoo demon thingamabobber. And that's all I'm going to tell you because I'm not going to spoil this for you. But the art is incredible. Okay? We're going to look at the art, as Swagdaw says. Okay. See, there we go. There's that Louisiana Bayou plantation run down, all swampy and kooky. And you see the kids driving up. Yep, that's the girl who inherited it. And that's her sister. And their friends. Okay. They get into the house. They're checking out the creepy vileness. And the dude, dumb dude, He go upstairs, right? Come on. Didn't you watch horror movies, dude? You do not go up the stairs in a creaky, old, abandoned, nasty plantation. You see all these dead pigeons falling through a hole in the roof. That's when you say, F this, I'm out, But no, he didn't. He did not. One of the other people falls through a hole, you can see there, breaks their leg. They go into shock because it's a compound fracture breaking out through the leg. Okay. So, yeah, there you go. Boom. So you can see they want to get out to get medical attention, but the other dude disappeared. And the two girls go take the car, but they swerve because of a deer, and now their car is in the swamp. Forget it. It's gone. And now they're stuck. And now they're arguing in closed space, spooky setting. One dude seriously injured. Dude goes back upstairs. I don't see nothing. Keep in mind, dude's got an axe with him, right? So they start a fire. And he got a big old stick now. He gonna go see what's going on up the stairs. He gives the stick to her. Goes at him with an axe. Hold on. Wait for it. Then he's gone. He's not answering them. And then look, spooky ghosts start popping out. Uh-oh. Them spirits. And there he is. Boom. Coming down the stairs with an axe in his head. He's been hoodooed. He's taken over. Then he pulls the axe out of his head and he's ready to go after the rest. That's all I'm going to show you. This needs to be read. And that's only like the first 20 pages. If that, it's still part of the first issue. And they adapted it into a 4-issue miniseries. This is awesomeness. There's just so much good stuff to read. So much out there. And it's Dark Horse. Dark Horse Comics. When has Dark Horse put out something bad, guys? Let's be real. Not everything they put out is our cup of tea, true. But it's never bad. It's always quality work. So take it from me. If you can find Pigeons from Hell collected on the cheap, buy it, read it. You won't regret it. If you find the floppies in a dollar bin, buy them, read them. You won't regret it. Okay? And that's all I got to say about that. And even the kitty here, Frida, agrees. See, she won't turn around till you go out and find it and read it. Okay? Man, that's all I got to say about that. On the next episode of this, Pulp Fictions, I will be reviewing, also from Dark Horse Comics, Tarzan, The Lost Adventure. This is the last Tarzan story. Edgar Rice Burroughs wrote 70% of it before he died, and it was unfinished. So they call in Joe R. Lansdale to write it. All the covers are by Arthur Soidan. And there are interior illustrations by none other than Michael Kaluta. So you've got a super grade A team working on this awesomeness. And then to honor Edgar Rice Burroughs, you can see they're smaller than the comic bag. They are made the same size as pulp magazines were back in the 30s and 40s. Very cool. And this will be next. The only reason this wasn't first is I still have to read episodes 3 and 4 of it. And There is an awesome thing in the back of each of these. Edgar Rice Burroughs' son did a comic strip in the newspapers of the adventures of John Carter of Mars, the other Burroughs character that Edgar's known for, John Carter of Mars and Tarzan, right? Never before reprinted. First time reprinted anywhere is in these 4 volumes. So that's going to be a treat. Okay, and we'll be reviewing this on the next episode of Pulp Fictions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. I hope you subscribe if you haven't. I hope you share with a friend if you think they'd like it too. But you don't have to do any of that. The only thing you have to do is be kind to yourself, be kind to others. That's what really matters in life. When it comes to buying the comic books and the graphic novels, buy what you like and read what you buy. So no matter what, you're happy. There you go. Because it's all about having stuff in your collection that will bring you joy. Okay, I learned that the hard way. On that note, God bless each and every one of you and your families. May you stay happy, healthy. And I love you all. And I'll see you on the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.